go. Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. It is 2023 and I want to find out what is going on with the price of silver. So in order to do that, I'm going to check out the silver futures, and I called my buddy Crypto Joe to find out. Crypto Joe, how you doing?
Oh, we're doing great. Had a great Christmas, great New Year, family and friends. Ready to get this 2023 off and running, to be honest with you.
Awesome. So we want to talk about silver. I want you to take a look at the silver price chart and give me your best silver price prediction. I know we're not financial advisors, financial professionals, but you are very good when it comes to technical analysis. I've been following you for a long time. Guys, if you want to learn technical analysis this year, you want to become a better trader, check out Joe's course. I'm going to put a link to it below on how to trade micro futures so you get the bonus of micro futures and technical analysis. But Joe, we're going to pull up the chart of silver and you're going to let me know what's going on.
Okay, should be coming up right now.
Yep.
And well, let's just go ahead and start at the beginning, kind of where this last little run started out. We started putting in, higher lows down here, and then kind of a trick here. We were just trading in this sideways consolidation inside bar. Most times for higher odds, higher probability, the fifth candle will break out, as you see here. So we made a little, scale in. And then we had a 2 down, 1 up scaled in here, 2 down, in other words, 2 red candles down. Then you have a green candle that takes them out. Same here. And just by knowing these two little tricks, that gave you this run up, as you can see. And recently we've been in this ascending wedge formation, and most times they break to the downside, which is what happened. But silver, real strong. I mean, we didn't have a lot of, follow through to the downside. Normally, this big red candle that takes out several, green candles normally has some follow through. It was bought up, little rest here, and then a breakout again. Now, at this point, we're above the 20, which is positive, and then the 20 is above the 200, very positive. And what's going on now? You got to ask yourself, okay, when things are trading sideways, it's either accumulation or distribution. And with the world financial system, on the brink, everything else, you got to ask yourself, the big guys, the whales, the institutions, are they, selling off right here slowly so they don't drop the price or trying to get the best possible? Or do you think they're accumulating here, waiting for the next breakout? Well, I think they're accumulating, waiting for the next breakout. Okay, time will tell. But if we get my cue will be if we get a big green candle up and over this, blue dash line here, or if we break under the 20 and this one here, we know, that wasn't the right move. But yeah, the first move we're looking at is up here, the 25 bucks. And then I'm going to move over to the weekly just right quick. And yeah, the same deal here. I'm going to take everything off. I'll just rebuild this later. Take everything off. As you can see, we already started, trading for the new year. But anyway, here we were last week, broke over. And then the monthly chart is what I like. And as you can see,
real quick,
here,
Joe, can I jump in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me share my screen really quick. And I want to show something that I just saw before you, because you're already looking at the monthly chart. Check this out. 2 days ago, out of Kitco, retail investors see silver prices rallying more than 50% in 2023 to $38 an ounce. So let me do this really quick. Let me pop back to your screen. Now, you're looking at the monthly chart. Let's talk about that, because by that headline, it looks pretty positive for silver.
Right. Yeah. Each candle here is 1 month of price action. We're back up and over the 200. As you see that purple line, very bullish. And normally you'll pop off the 200 if you're coming from an extended price range, but and then this downtrend line. Of course, again, a lot of times you'll come back, retest it, but we also have the 20 there. So we have two factors, which gives you an 83 to 87% odds probability percentage, that you'll keep running to the upside. And then the only little headache I see right now is possibly, coming up to this high pivot level. And what we could do is, down, up, run into it, little double top, come back, retest this line, and then go like that.
Yep.
And so anyway, so that'll be, you know, 1, 2, 3, 3 count. If you can count to 3, you can make a lot of money in this business. Okay. So
Yeah.
thank goodness it's not that hard, but
And
that's
everybody,
what I'm
as
expecting.
let me
Yeah.
jump in real quick. Sorry, Joe. As
Yeah.
Joe's goes pretty quick, and he's like, "Well, you did this move and then that move. These are parts of the course. So if you've taken the course, you know exactly what Joe is talking about. But this is so much more important than just buying and selling stocks or buying and selling futures. If you're in the physical market as well, and you're buying good clips of gold, silver, platinum, palladium, it's important to be able to do technical analysis, to be able to read charts. And like Joe says, it can retest, but then if it does this, the probability is 80% that it does this, and that's really important to check out. Now, when we're talking about silver, we would be remiss if we left out the value of the dollar. Joe, you've got that chart pulled up, right? That we could talk to him about that.
Right. Oh, exactly. Right over here. And with the dollar, as you remember back on silver, we were in an ascending wedge, which generally breaks the downside. Now these descending wedges generally break back up to the upside. And as you can see, we just traded sideways out of that wedge and then, have broken actually down out of this consolidation zone here. So the dollar definitely looks weaker. Now, at any time the Fed can come in, pump this thing up, whatever, total, disclosure there. But this low pivot right here is very critical for the next, couple of days. If we can get 2 or 3 days under that blue dash line, again, higher odds, higher probability, we're going to come on down to this level. And I'll show you that on the weekly chart. But I want to point this out. A lot of times once the 20 gets under the 200 or in reverse on top of it, it'll trade far and away from that 200. Okay, so we're downside.
Well, here
And
real quick, bro, don't change that chart. Go back to that chart,
okay,
Joe. So I want to explain to everybody, you notice that the downturn in the dollar started right around October. Since then,
mm,
gold and silver have traded higher because obviously if the value of the dollar is going lower, gold and silver tend to trend upward. Now, when Joe said that the Fed can come in and step in at any point, let me explain something. Since October, markets have been pricing in the Federal Reserve slowing the rate of rise in the interest rate, right? And we just saw that in December, where instead of the standard 75 basis points that we've seen the last handful of months, we saw the Fed come in and do 50 basis points, right? So if you think about it this way, this is the way I look at it. Since October, the market has been figuring that the Fed is going to slow its interest rate rises, which means the dollar is not going to be able to maintain its value. It's going to lower in value because there's less interest being paid on the dollars. So if the Federal Reserve came in, the only thing that, in my opinion, right now that would boost the dollar, there's two things: a total collapse of equity markets around the world or bond markets where countries are forced to buy dollars out of a safe haven play, or the Federal Reserve comes in and starts really cranking on the fire, going back to 75 basis points or 100 basis points or even more. So in my opinion, I think that we are going to see, like Joe says, continued weakness in the dollars. Go ahead, Joe.
right, good points. And I think they're back themselves in the corner here, quite honestly, which is going to help finally the folks, the gold bugs, silver bugs, etc. But let's look real quick at the weekly chart. Each candle is 1 week of price action. And also, well, I'll get to that. We have this little high pivot here, which was previous resistance. And a lot of times previous resistance will now be support. So we could get a little, over here and then a pullback. And then this green dash line is part of the course deal. It's very, very important. It's a very significant measured move here. On top of that, if you have 2 or more of these factors, that's what ups your percentages to 83 to 87%. And yeah, we have 2 factors here. So if when or if, probably more like when the dollar starts trading under $100, that it's going to be real tough to get back up over it. And the likelihood of us going down to the mid to high to mid 90s is very probable. Matter of fact, we're looking at possibly hit of this 200 sometime in 2023, which is around 97 bucks, $98 in that area. So Yeah, not that we're saying it's going to be in a free fall because nothing goes straight down, just like nothing here, as you can see, goes straight up.
Yeah.
There's going to be pullbacks. And as you can see, the 20 is far and away from the 200. And that, you have time and distance, just like in sports, okay? So, and they never get too far in time or distance before they come back together. And by the time this 20 hits this 200, yeah, we're going to be probably way down here into this green dash line. So,
Wow. Well, let's do this in closing, Joe. Why don't we pull back up the silver chart, pull it back a bit, and give me your best idea of what you think may happen by the end of 2023 as far as price predictions. We love listening to price predictions. No one should take these, take them with a grain of salt. But what are we looking at in the long term this next year for silver?
okay. Well, first of all, this is a great chart right here. Using the monthly chart is very strong. It's stronger than the weekly, and obviously the weekly is stronger than the 3-day, 3 days stronger than the daily. So, but it's like a battleship, moving in the water, a cruise ship. It's going to take a lot of time to, stop it, turn it around. But anyway, I'll say all that to say this, we broke over this trend line here, down trend line. And most times on the third hit, you'll reverse, and then either the fourth or fifth hit, you'll break through. Now, according to classical technical analysis, most times you come back, retest it to make sure that is supported, then continue, up and away. But once we get over, I'm, for sure, not for sure, but, pretty sure that we'll hit that 25 area. As we were saying before, come up here, hit the 25, come back, hit that 20, that blue line, and then continue up into, the 30 zone and so on and so forth. And depends on, quite honestly, I think, how bad the economy, how, bad the dollar gets, but there's severe, extreme resistance up here at $34. But that's not to discourage people. Once you get over that extreme, very difficult, very tough resistance, guess what? It becomes extreme, very strong support. Okay, if people are following along. And again, this 3 count, but the trick is that 20. Okay, the 20 and the 200 most important moving averages on the chart, and we go into all that another time, but it looks like the way this thing is timed, we could come up here, pull back, and that 20 will be in this zone. We could hit it. And when price hits and sticks that 20, like an Olympic gymnast, it blows out of there. I mean, that's when you take your, not financial value, that's when you take your kids' college fund, second mortgage from the house, and
I can't
go
even imagine
for
what the micro futures will be worth and certain
That's
silver
what
mining equities.
oh my gosh. Oh my God. I'm getting chills right now because you can control where can you go and control 1,000 ounces
Yeah.
for $2,045?
I
So I
completely
mean,
agree.
yeah. But anyway, we can explain more about that later. But
Yeah.
yeah, very positive. The 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on a good little time count here as well. So unless we break the 20 and which is 2 factors and this trend line, which is, I mean, it'd have to be a black swan, an anomaly, something like that for us to do that. Now, I'm kind of looking forward to a pullback here to get in a little, for everybody to give up. See, a lot of people are going to give up, going, oh, here we go again. But they don't know those little tricks, those little nuances, or they can't count to 3. I don't know. So, but anyway,
well, if you can count to 3, you can probably take this course and figure it out. Well, Joe, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to much higher silver prices in 2023, and I'm sure you are too.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Happy New Year, and let's get after it.
Right on. Okay, guys, I'm going to put a link to Joe's course down below. If you want to learn about micro futures trading or technical analysis, that's really the biggest part of this course. I think it's one of the best price courses out there. I'll leave you with it. All right, guys, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.